Hey everybody, it's Justin here, aka Demonic Sweaters. I've had a lot of requests to do another video about the PD708 and how to import samples directly from the USB drive, which I have right here. Before, I used a software that you could get called the SoundKit Editor, which you can download from Avatar's website, but you don't have to use that. You can actually just copy files right onto the USB. But in the process of making this video, I realized that there are a lot of things I had to do with this. Like, for example, there was a new firmware that I had to update, and I had to install the new kit library and things like that. So I figured I would do all of that in this video. If you want to skip right to the part about loading the sample from the USB drive, there's a timestamp, and you could just go right to that. If you want to learn all that other stuff, then watch the rest of this video. I think it should be pretty helpful for those that have this device. And yeah, the Avatar PD708 is a really cool sample pad type thing that's pretty similar to the Roland SPD-SX. It's also similar to the Avatar, where is it? Over there, PD705 that I have on my drum kit. And I love both of these devices. This one has a lot more sample memory. If you want to pick one up, there's a link down below. And also, if you want to pick up any other drum related stuff at my Amazon shop, there's a link down below to that, as well as my Reverb shop and all of my stuff, my TikTok and all that's linked everywhere. So check all that stuff out, and let's go ahead and get started with this video. All right, so before we do anything to the firmware, let's turn on your PD708 and see which firmware it actually has installed. So to do that, we just turn on the device, wait for it to start up. We're gonna go to System, right over here, and then arrow down to, where is it? I believe it's in Option, press OK. And then we're going to tap on Version right here. And then you'll see that mine has CH file 1.29 and GD show. I have no idea what those two things mean, but it is on 1.30. And I believe the current version is, what is it? Okay, and it looks like the current version is now 1.32, and I'm not sure if that's talking about GD show or CH file, but either way, it's higher than both of those. So I'm going to go ahead and update it. All right, so here on Avatar's website is where you can download the firmware, and it is PD708 firmware updated, steps included in the file. And we just download it right here. Just click download, and then you're going to unzip that to wherever it downloads. And if you open up the README file inside of there, it will tell you actually the details. So it shows here that GD show is currently 1.32 and CH file is 1.31. So both of those are higher than what I have in my version. So I am going to update. Now, you'll notice here as well, it tells you the update steps. Number one, you need to create an update folder in the root directory of the U disk, USB disk, and then place the update.ben file in this folder. And then we're going to insert it in the device and follow the instructions there. But I just noticed something that I did wrong here, so let me fix this. I just copied the update folder from the unzipped file, and as you can see, it's all caps, but in the README there, it wasn't that. So I'm going to change it to all lowercase, and it didn't let me do that for some reason. That is very strange. Okay, let me try that again. Let me just delete it. And I'm going to create one. And then I'll copy the file directly over to it, and not by going there. I need to go to my downloads. And there it is in here. Just copy that. And I'm going to paste it in here. Maybe the caps doesn't matter, but I just want to do it exactly as it says, just to eliminate any risk. All right, so I've got that in there. Now I'm going to take the USB stick back over to the Avatar PD708. All right, I've got my USB stick here. I'm going to put it in the PD708 with the power off. Then I'm going to turn it back on. And we are going to go back to System. Then we're going to go down just like I did before, all the way to Option, press OK. Then we're going to press on Update. And then now see, there's two things here. We have update and CH file update. We'll get back to that. I'm just going to do update for now. Okay, now it says detect update. Notice we have like this LED here, which is sort of like a, it looks like it's more like a indicator light that it's doing something. That's new. I didn't notice that before. So that's pretty cool. So now it's updating SYN, whatever that is. Well, it's doing CH file update now, so I don't know if I still have to go in and select that. I'll see what version it's all on after it finishes, and if it's current, then I won't touch that other update menu item. Okay, I'm going to turn off the camera until this finishes. I don't know how long it's going to take. All right, it finished up and restarted, and it all looks good here. Let's go ahead and check out what version it's at now. Okay, and version we are at GD show 1.32_1 and CH file 1.31. And I believe that is up to date. Let me just look at the README file again here. Yes, so that all looks good. I guess I don't have to mess with the CH file updating process. So what I want to do now, though, there is a new sample library that I can install. And I've never done this before, so hopefully this doesn't ruin everything. I'm not going to worry about backing up my custom samples on here, but you should do that if you want to save what you have, because it will get rid of them apparently. But I don't really care because I'm not using anything on there right now. I'm just going to start fresh. All right, so just like the firmware, we're going to download our sound library right here from the website. So it's just right here, and you'll see this one's much larger. It's 331 megabytes because it's got all the samples in there. And then once you unzip it, you'll see there's a README file in there. And it tells you the steps here how to do it. So only applicable for 1.29 or above firmware. I believe that's what that's saying. It says program, but I'm pretty sure it's talking about the firmware. And then, so what you do, unzip the folder, which you had to before you even saw this README, because otherwise you wouldn't be reading this. But anyway, unzip it, and then you're going to place the bin file in the USB drive, and you need to create a folder called load kit, like that, all caps. And I already did that in mine, so let me go ahead and show you somewhere here. So I have load and then kit, and then there's the kit all.bin. It's named slightly differently than it is here, but that's how it was when I unzipped the file. So I'm not going to change that. I'm just going to leave it like that. Hopefully that works. So let's go ahead and do what it says and see how it goes. All right, I put in the USB drive, just turned on the device. And I'm going to go to Utility, go down to Load USB, press OK, and then I'm going to go down to All and press OK again. And it says, warning, delete all data, load all, yes. Now remember, you need to back up before you do this if you want to save anything. So I don't care, so I'm just going to go ahead and do it. And there it goes, restore all kit. So it's copying from the USB drive, the new kit library that I downloaded from the website. And now that LED isn't changing, I kind of wish it was doing that for this too, but I guess it only does that on the firmware update. Okay, now after I do this, I'm going to test out some of these kits, and then we're going to get to the loading samples from the USB drive, because I know a lot of you have requested that. I did sort of go over it in my last video, or my original video actually, but I did skip some steps. So I'm going to try to go over that more in detail in this one once this finishes up. All right, this one has taken quite a while. It's been updating for at least 10 minutes, I think. So be prepared. Don't unplug it or anything while it's updating. It looks like it's almost done on mine. So any minute now should finish up. Oh, and there's our LED again. Cool. So it does still do that, at least at the end. Still thinking, still 99%. So yeah, it's definitely going to take some patience through this step. All right, it finally finished. So let's take a look here. We got basic kit, rock music, block. I honestly can't remember if these are different than the old ones or not. Block, trap 1, trap 2, hip hop. All right, I'm going to hook it up and play a bit and see how these sound. Maybe they're the same, maybe they're not. All right, so finally, let's talk about how to load samples from a USB drive, directly from the USB drive into the PD708. The last time I showed you guys how to use the sound kit editor, but this time I just want to show you basically how to copy a sample right onto here and then right onto your PD708. So first off, let's install it. So let me go ahead and plug it into the computer. All right, so my USB drive is right here. Now, one thing to remember that's really important is the PD708 only takes a certain type of sample. It will only take a WAV file, and it will only take one that's 48 kilohertz and stereo and 16-bit. Now, what you can do if you are unsure is use the program called Audacity, and it is free, just audacityteam.org. You can download it or just Google Audacity, you'll find it. And I'm just going to drag this sample I have into here. And then if we go to File, Export Audio, you could select those specifications here. So let's just select 48,000 hertz and then signed 16-bit and stereo. And then I already did this, so I don't need to save it again. Well, I guess I'll go ahead and do it anyways. Just click export, and then there it is. I don't need to save this. So now I have this sample right here. Now you don't need to create a special folder or anything. You just drag it right into the root directory of the USB drive. And then once you do that, actually, let me rename this because I already did this once. I don't want it to get confused in there. I'll name it Snare 64. Okay, now let's go back over to the PD708 and I'll show you how to import it there. All right, so I've got the USB drive here. And one thing I realized is actually you don't even have to turn off the PD708 to plug it in. I've done this successfully without even turning it off. So maybe you want to, but it seems to work for me without doing that. So let me go ahead and plug it in here. I can't really see, so just trying to do it with my fingers. Okay, I got it plugged in. And now I'm gonna go to Utility. And you can see the little icon there that tells you that the USB is being read. And then we just go down to Load right here, press OK. And then Wave Import, press OK again. Then you should see whatever samples you have on the root directory. As long as they're formatted correctly, they'll show up in this list. So let's go ahead and press OK. And then OK again to import. And there it goes, import successfully. So now we're back in the home section here, and you can just go on pad or tap pad. And then here you can see I already selected Snare 63. That's actually the same sample, but I did it before testing. But if I want to assign the new one there, I can just tap this button right here. Oh, you can't see that. Right here, this little button. and then it will pull up a list here, and then you'll see wave list. Just press OK. And then now you can see the new sample added down there on the bottom. So let's just go ahead and select that. Press OK. You might have to scroll all the way down, the first time you do it, through like all of your samples, depending on whichever sample it was selected on before. So yeah, and that's it. Now it's already selected in there. I don't have it hooked up to audio, but you could just press OK again, and it'll save. And then now if we go back to home, I just assigned that sample to this pad on the kit. So it is really, really simple. I still prefer using the software on the computer, the whatever it's called. I keep forgetting what that's called. What is it? Sound Kit Editor. I don't know why it's called something different for the PD708. For the PD705, it's called the Wave Manager, and that one I remember. But Sound Kit Editor for PD708, I prefer that because then you can assign, a bunch of samples at once to all the pads. And I find that to be much more efficient. But if you do want to load just one loop or one sample, you can do it that way, or the way I just showed you, and it's really easy. Anyway, that's all. Thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to click like and subscribe if you want to pick up one of these awesome devices for yourself. Check it out. There's a link down below, and I'll see you all in the next video. Have a great day.